मधुबन शिव बसंत है।
Om Shanti. Shanti. So, have you started appreciating the value of knowledge? Because we came here attracted by this word meditation. But what I want to tell you is, meditation also works only when it is based on true knowledge. Yes, because without knowledge there is no meditation. You might keep breathing in and out all your life, but it won't change how you think, and therefore it will never change how you feel or what your sanskars are. So this is why it is very important to understand the value of knowledge, and on the basis of that knowledge, when we connect with ourselves, our truth, and the truth about God, then that is called meditation. Now, most people, because they do not understand the value of knowledge, they keep meditating all their lives, but then there is no significant improvement in their sanskars. So that's why they also feel the same, and people around them also feel the same. Now, yesterday we talked about karma and how accumulated karma results in situations and which are unfavorable in nature, and mostly we are talking about negative karma because positive karma is not the problem. Good news is no news. Okay, so we are not talking about the positive ones, we are talking about the negative ones. Now, today we will talk about what is the role of God in karma, because we took the question that God doesn't run the world because the world is a product of our collective consciousness. Whatever happens in our life is a product of our karma. We also took up the question in a previous session whether God creates the world. And I asked you to think about three things, that is, souls, matter, and God, and how they are, all three of them are eternal in nature. So God obviously doesn't create the world because there is no creation. If creation is eternal, then there is no question of actually creating. So what does God do? God, when we come from this high entropy to low entropy to high entropy, which is when we deplete, when we lose our power, so God puts us back into our power. So God gives us the knowledge of karma, God gives us the power to do good karma, God gives us the knowledge of truth about ourselves so that we can reconnect with our original qualities. He gives us the knowledge of Himself so that we can connect with Him and draw power. So this is the role of God precisely. So I told you, God teaches us how to disconnect from the situation, come to Him, take power, and go back. So all this teaching is given by God, and precisely that is what's going on here. Whatever you are receiving here is not from me or any human being. It has come from God Himself. And how it's come from God, I will let you know in a session, maybe 2 days or 3 days later. But the thing is, this knowledge is being shared by me, yes, but it has not come from me, so it has come from God Himself. Now, up until now, we have been using this term God for the Supreme Soul, and this term, when we use this term or we refer to God as the Supreme Soul, then we don't feel very close to Him. जबकि परमात्मा तो हमारे सबसे नज़दीक है. So today we will know what his real name is. And before that, I told you about something about how, in bhakti, everything that was being done was symbolic in nature. Yes, I gave you the example of that temple and how we visit the temple and then we have to take off shoes and belt, and actually it was supposed to signify the stripping off of body consciousness, but then we didn't understand that and we started doing it very ritually. Now today I will also ask you to think about certain things that we did in bhakti. Like, one thing is, I always think about this, and that is, see, if I read a book on some great personality for 30 days, maybe I read the life of Abdul Kalam, or I read somebody's life history, somebody who has contributed to humanity's progress, then at the end of 30 days, that reading or that connection or that sung company of that person, in the sense of knowing about their ideas, their ideals, their life, will inspire me. Yes. And at the end of 30 days, maybe I will be inspired to do something that they did. So even the connection with or the company of a human who is a better quality colors you, right? But in bhakti, we listen to these stories wherein Ravan was a very big bhakt, and he kept connecting with Lord Shiva, and then he did that for ages, and he got all the powers and external powers which would help him win in every situation. But then Ravan remained Ravan. So Ravan didn't change into Ram because he connected with Lord Shiva. So this is something, which is very interesting in bhakti. Whenever we pray, we meditate, it's never about changing yourself or changing your sanskar. It is always about some external power you want. You are going to the Devi's temple, exam pass kara do. So now, once there is one very silly joke on this, but it's very pertinent. So one child came back from school and he had his exam that day. And when he came back, he was sitting in the mandir and praying that, हे भगवान दिल्ली का इंडिया का कैपिटल बॉम्बे बना दो, हे भगवान इंडिया का कैपिटल बॉम्बे बना दो. So now his mother was listening from one end and she was very surprised. Why does he want India ka capital Bombay ho jaye? So he said that this is what I have written in the exam, and if God can do everything, he can change India's capital to Bombay so that I get 1 mark for that answer. So this is, we think that God is some magician and he is required to intervene in situations which we create, and he will give us some magical powers and something. But we never think about God as the one who will change our sanskars or give us knowledge or teach us or be our friend or companion. We have never, I don't think we have explored this possibility in a big manner. So this is what God tells us when He comes, and He has come, and of course He is talking. That's why we know so much about Him which we didn't know earlier. So He tells us that, no, this is not my job, and I don't change situations, and I don't do this and that. And all that you have heard about me was created by human beings. Now, human beings are very smart. What they did is, Now we got vicious. See, when the soul lost power, so just like darkness enters as soon as you switch off the light, so as soon as the light of the soul, the seven qualities got dimmer because they got used up. So what happened is darkness set in: lust, ego, anger, attachment, and greed. And because of that lust, ego, anger, attachment, and greed, which is the darkness in the soul, we started to believe that my fullness depends on my acquisition of people's appreciation, approval, my acquisition of things and external labels and recognitions and money. So we devised a theory which says that God is the provider of all these things. And then because we thought that our inner void can be fulfilled only by these things, so then God would be technically be providing all these things. So we started going to the temple and praying, हे भगवान मेरी शादी करा दो, बच्चा नहीं हो रहा बच्चा दे दो, हे भगवान मेरी नौकरी नहीं हो रही वो नौकरी करा दो. So now God doesn't do all this, but we gave him this job because this is how we thought that we would be filling ourselves from within. Now God comes and tells us, this is not my job, and whatever you created is your creation. Now I will tell you one simple thing. Once one brother came to me and said कि दीदी मेरे को चेन स्मोकिंग की लत है और मैं बहुत हैबिचुअल स्मोकर हूँ और मुझे उस लत से छुटकारा चाहिए. तो I started sharing whatever I know. So I told him that see, you are a divine soul, and think of it, does it suit a divine soul to smoke a cigarette? So can you imagine a divine soul smoking a cigarette? So then he said, Didi, will you excuse me, but you know Shankar ji bhi chilam पीते थे, तो what is the problem? अब वो तो ठीक ही है ना, फिर वो भी चिलम पीते थे तो हम भी पिए तो क्या प्रॉब्लम है. So now what I want to point out at is, because we were not able to reach our purity, what we did is we created stories which said God also engages in all kind of thinking and speech and action like we do. So हम परमात्मा से कनेक्ट नहीं हो पाए तो हमने क्या किया, परमात्मा को अपने जैसा बना दिया. And then we created these scriptures and stories in which God was very ordinary. He cried, he laughed, he was sad, he was angry, he was smoking cigarettes, and he was doing all kind of stuff because we wanted to feel okay. And the best way to feel okay is find somebody who is doing exactly the same thing as you and is respected, accepted, and more revered. Okay, so we gave godly sanction to our evil activities. And this is how we never thought of changing, but we changed the whole approach so that we would never have to think about it. So this is something that you need to think deeply about. Now you see, if I ask you a very simple question, see, the soul is knowledgeful. So if you ask yourself the right questions, then your intuitive sense or your conscience will answer that for you. So if I ask you a question that maybe you are an honest person and you lead your life according to the rules and you are disciplined, you give value to time, you don't waste time, you don't hurt anybody, you are a nice person, and then your neighbor is a thug, he is a thief, he steals, he loots and does everything. But the thing is, you don't pray to God, you don't go to the temple, you don't do any puja, part, nothing. And that other person, the one who is a thief, keeps doing yajna and puja and havan and this and that. Who do you think God will be pleased at? Who do you think will be happier in life? Yes. So we say that yes, the person who doesn't cheat, doesn't loot would be happier. But in the way we are trained to think that maybe if you do a lot of puja and bhakti and then you do all the wrong karma and you don't pay attention to what you're doing, then you will be fine, which is a very wrong message to receive. And there is another very strong message going around in the world, which is all good people are unhappy and sorrowful. ना अच्छे लोग दुखी रहते हैं या अच्छे लोगों को बहुत दुख होता है. Now if अगर आपको दुख हो रहा है तो आप अच्छे नहीं हैं. And there is something you don't know about being अच्छा, which is giving you this sorrow. But if you are really good, if you are not thinking, you're not speaking, not acting in a manner which is against your original nature, then you will never be sorrowful. So now Baba tells us, God tells us, until now I have not introduced the term Baba. So God tells us that when you are sorrowful, it could be because of two reasons. One is you are giving sorrow to somebody which is coming back to you, or second one is you are taking sorrow, which is an equal sin. दुख देना पाप है, ये ज्ञान तो हमें पता है ना? And most people pay attention कि मुझे किसी को दुख नहीं देना है. But परमात्मा ने हमें समझाया कि तुम्हें सिर्फ एक पाप पता है, दूसरे का तुम्हें ज्ञान नहीं है, इसीलिए तुम वो एक पाप तो नहीं कर रहे पर दूसरा दिन रात कर रहे हो. वो दूसरा पाप क्या है? दुख लेना नहीं है ना. अब जब कोई चीज़ आपके लिए अच्छी नहीं है तो अपने हेल्थ का ध्यान रखना तो हमारी अपनी जिम्मेवारी है ना. Somebody gives you a rotten fruit to eat. Will you take that and eat it? No. Why? Because that will have a bad effect on your health. So why do you take something that depletes your spiritual health? You don't have to take it. Yes? And everybody is entitled to their opinion. So they will give their opinion free of cost. But you are entitled to your discernment of whether to take that opinion or not take that opinion. Yes? So we have this very nice expression, you are entitled to your opinion. You are welcome to your opinion. So if somebody gives you an opinion which you don't think is okay, then you don't have to stop that person from giving it. They might keep giving it, but you don't have to take it. Right? And this is one simple thing that we didn't know about ourselves. The choice of not taking anybody's opinion, not taking sorrow. कोई आपको दुख दे रहा है तो आप ले क्यों रहे हो? आप नहीं लेंगे तो उसका दुख उसके पास रहेगा. और आपने देखा है जब कोई आपको दुख देना चाहता है और आप नहीं लेते हैं तो उसका दुख बढ़ता जाता है. क्योंकि आप ले नहीं रहे तो उसके पास तो उसका दुख उसी के पास रहता है, तो फिर वो बहुत बढ़ता है. अब जब वो बढ़ता है तो वह आपको और तेजी से उसे देना चाहता है, ठीक है? बट यू हैव टू स्टे स्ट्रांग एंड नॉट टेक इट, एंड दे विल सूनर फाइंड समवन एल्स हु दे कैन गिव इट टू. Because people who have sorrow in them, and I told you about this very profound piece of knowledge, which is weak souls perform bad actions. People who are in sorrow don't cry, they give sorrow. Okay, दुख वाला दुखी नहीं रहता, दुखी करता है. When we hear this word sorrow, we are okay with somebody being dukhi, but we are not okay with somebody trying to make us dukhi. है ना? लेकिन the problem is, कोई दुखी है तो वो रोता नहीं है, वो दुखी करता है. और जब कोई आपको दुखी कर रहा है तो आप समझ जाइए कि ये खुद दुखी है और मुझे इसके साथ दुखी नहीं होना है. और जब आप ये डिसाइड करेंगे, वो बहुत पुरजोर कोशिश करेंगे आपको अपना दुख देने की, बिकॉज दे हैव सो मच ऑफ इट, दे कांट डील विथ इट. एंड देन व्हेन यू कंप्लीटली स्टे डिस्पैशनेट and detached and don't play on, then they will find someone else to give dukh to, and they will stop troubling you. Okay, so this is something you have to understand, and if you are in a good stage, you should bless them and give them some of your happiness and power. And if you're not able to do that, at least stay detached. Don't take sorrow. Okay, how do you take sorrow? When you start playing their words, their action into your mind. They are doing something, they are saying something. They are saying it, they are doing it. Why do you have to take it and play a CD in your mind? So not taking sorrow is not taking the video cassette of somebody's words and actions and playing it in your mind. All right? So this is what God has told us, that everything that you are suffering from is about you, and you have the power to deal with it. And this knowledge was not available to us previously, and we always thought that God is about giving us powers and giving us some external support and this and that and changing the situation. Now, when God comes, He gives the whole introduction of ourselves to us, and He introduces Himself to us. And in the introduction, He tells us His name. And He says, "My name is Shiv." Now, when we say Shiv, immediately the picture of Shankar comes into our mind. The picture of a deity called Shankar, which we confuse with Shiv also, and then there is a serpent around his neck and stuff. So that human form, that deity form comes into our mind. But the thing is, when I am saying God says His name is Shiv, I am referring to the one which you go and pay your respects to in the form of a Shivling. So when you go to the temple and you are going and connecting with the Shivling, that Shivling doesn't have a body. And if you see, the first temple in Hindu religion, the first ever temple was the Somnath temple. और जो सोमनाथ का मंदिर था उसमें कोई देवता की मूर्ति नहीं थी, उसमें सिर्फ एक शिवलिंग था और वो शिवलिंग हीरे का बनाया गया था और उस शिवलिंग को नाम दिया गया था शिव ज्योतिर्लिंगम, विच मीन्स शिव ज्योति का प्रतीक, शिवा द सिंबल ऑफ लाइट. So when we started this bhakti, we had a lot of clarity that God doesn't have a body of his own. He's a point of light. And because we couldn't make a pedestal, couldn't seat a point of light on a pedestal, we created a bigger form of a shivling made out of diamonds so that it shines and gives off that light, and we named it Shiva, the symbol of light, Shiv Jyotirlingam, so that souls come and they understand that they are also a point of light, and when they connect with or sit in front of Shiv Jyotirlingam, they also are reminded of their Jyoti Swarup and they are able to connect with them. And when I sit in my Jyoti Swarup and connect with the Jyotirlingam Shiv Baba, then I will be able to do away with my body consciousness. Because हमारी सारी जो दुखों का कारण है वो हमारी बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस है, और जितना जितना हम परमात्मा के सानिध्य में अपने आप को ज्योति स्वरूप में स्थित करेंगे तो हमारी बॉडी कॉन्शियसनेस ख़त्म होती जाएगी और हमारी सारी कॉन्सिक्वेंट प्रॉब्लम्स भी ख़त्म होती जाएंगी. सो दिस वाज द होल आइडिया विथ विच भक्ति स्टार्टेड. But later we wrote stories and this and that and gave human form precisely because we couldn't become a point of light. So we gave him a body. And then we said, okay, now the connection is perfect because if I can't come up to you, I'll bring you down to myself. And then we will have a good time. So this is how it all started. Now if you see, in every religion, there is a lot of clarity about the form of God. Jesus said, God is light and I am the Son of God. He never said, I am God. Islam says, Allah ek noor hai, noor-e-Ilahi. So they say God is light. They never say, Muhammad never said, Abraham never said, I am God. So in Buddhism, there is no mention of God, but they also meditate on something which is similar to the Shivling that we meditate on. Yes, and in Sikhism, they say Ek Onkar, Nirakar. Guru Nanak Dev Ji never said, I am God. But because we couldn't think of ourselves as a point of light, we couldn't connect with God, who is a star, a Jyoti Swarup. And that's why, because I thought I am a body, I had to give him a body. And then instead of connecting with God, we started connecting with the teacher. Okay. So this is the whole development of bhakti. Now, when God comes and teaches us, which He is doing right now, He tells us, I am just a point of light, बट मैं सत्य हूँ, चेतन हूँ और आनंद स्वरूप हूँ. मैं कोई जड़ पॉइंट ऑफ लाइट, कोई बल्ब लाइट या लेज़र लाइट नहीं हूँ. मैं हूँ तो ज्योति स्वरूप, पर मैं सत्य हूँ. सत्य क्यों? क्योंकि मेरे गुण, मेरी शक्तियाँ कभी परिवर्तन नहीं होते. मैं जन्म मरण के चक्र में नहीं आता, तो मैं प्रेम स्वरूप से कोई और स्वरूप कभी नहीं लेता. मैं जैसा हूँ, जो हूँ, हमेशा ऐसा ही रहता हूँ. सत्य का अर्थ होता है अविनाशी और अपरिवर्तनशील. सो परमात्मा के दो गुण हैं, वो अपरिवर्तनशील है और अविनाशी है. इसीलिए सत्य है। चैतन्य है, मन बुद्धि संस्कार के सहित है, तो चैतन्य है। इन अ प्रीवियस क्लास वी डिस्कस दिस जड़ एंड चैतन्य इन डिटेल। एंड देन आनंद स्वरूप है। तो शिव अपना परिचय देते कि और मेरा नाम शिव है, क्योंकि शिव वर्ड के 3 अर्थ होते हैं। शिव मीन्स अ डॉट, अ पॉइंट। शिव मीन्स कल्याणकारी, एंड शिव मीन्स अ सीड, बीज। तो क्योंकि परमात्मा रूप में बिंदु है, क्योंकि वो सदा कल्याणकारी है, और क्योंकि वो इस मनुष्य सृष्टि के बीज रूप है, क्योंकि जब ये मनुष्य सृष्टि का झाड़ जड़जड़ीभूत हो जाता है, माना व्हेन दिस होल ह्यूमन ट्री गेट्स ओल्ड, देन ही कम्स एंड रिन्यूज इट, which he is doing right now. So that's why he is called the seed. And so when you were reading Hindi in school, you must have learnt about Gunvachak Sangya and Kartavyavachak Sangya. So nouns are, sometimes names are based on the qualities and the acts. So God's name is based on the qualities and acts. So is a नामवाचक संज्ञा also because he is रूप में बिंदु के कारण भी शिव है, गुणवाचक भी हैं क्योंकि कल्याणकारी, एंड कर्तव्यवाचक भी हैं क्योंकि बीज रूप का कर्तव्य करते। So God says, I am literally Shiv. And with Shiv there is one word associated, Sada Shiv. Because only Shiv, which is the supreme soul, doesn't get depleted. So is Sada Shiv. Everybody else gets depleted because we come into this cycle of birth and death. And we call him Shiv Baba with love, because Shiv Baba means Shiv, my father. Okay? So when we say Shiv Baba, we are not talking of any human, we are talking of परमपिता परमात्मा, जो ज्योति बिंदु गुणों में सिंधु है, हम उनकी बात कर रहे हैं। और बाकी जितने भी फिगर्स फिगरीन्स बने वो मनुष्य की क्रिएशन है, क्योंकि वी कुडंट कनेक्ट विद गॉड, सो वी गेव हिम बॉडीज, क्वालिटीज एंड दे लाइक अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर कन्वीनियंस एंड वट एवर वी फेल्ट लाइक डूइंग। ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट the name of God, and he is called Shiv Baba. So from now on I will use his name, and when I say Baba or Shiv Baba, what I mean is the point of light, ocean of purity, ocean of love, ocean of peace. Now whenever you want to connect with somebody, there is a very important requirement, which is relationship. Yes, now see, there are some people in your life who give you a lot of, although giving pain is not a real thing, but whatever it is, you feel like your pain is caused by them and they are not behaving according to you, and you think that they are responsible for your misery. But still you can't stop thinking about them. And why can't you stop thinking about them? Because you have a relationship with them. Yes? And here you ritually sit every day to remember God, but you can't think about him. है ना, पूजा में बैठते हैं ना, आधा घंटा बैठेंगे, 1 घंटा बैठेंगे, लेकिन याद नहीं रहेगी, है ना, मन इधर उधर भटकेगा। क्यों? क्योंकि संबंध नहीं है। जब जिसके साथ संबंध है उसकी याद तो पूजा में बैठते हुए भी आएगी, और जिसके साथ संबंध नहीं है उसके लिए बैठे हैं पर याद ही नहीं आ रही उसके, है ना। तो बाबा हमें कहते हैं तुम्हें ये यात्रा करनी है याद करने से लेकर याद आने तक, और फिर याद आने से लेकर याद सताने तक। तो पहले हम परमात्मा को याद करेंगे, फिर धीरे धीरे याद आएगी, फिर धीरे धीरे याद सताएगी, और वो सारी यात्रा का जो आधार है वो क्या है? जितना जितना हमारा संबंध गहरा होता जाएगा, उतना उतना हमें शिव बाबा की याद आएगी ही नहीं, याद सताएगी। ठीक है। Now today we will understand. Now you see, our relationship with Shiv Baba is like, if there is a child and as soon as he is born, he is separated from his parent. Yes? And then the child meets his parent when he is at the age of 30 or 35. Then how do you think would be the relationship of the child and the parent? Now the child has come to know that this is my parent, but he will not feel a connection. Yes? And then he will have to think about what to talk to his parent. And then slowly, gradually, as he tries and attempts and then comes up with conversation, slowly that link will be revived. है ना? ऐसे ही आज हमें शिव बाबा बहुत समय के बाद मिले हैं। है तो वो मेरा सब कुछ, पर मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा और वो लिंक टूट चुका है। हालांकि हमने बहुत तरीक़ों से उस लिंक को जोड़े रखने की कोशिश की है, पर फिर भी कहीं ना कहीं ये मानना ही पड़ेगा कि वो टूट चुका है, और हमारे जो अपने पिता के लिए, अपने सर्व संबंधी के लिए जो प्रेम की रगें थी वो सूख चुकी हैं। तो उन रगों को रिवाइव करना पड़ेगा। एंड टू रिवाइव एनीथिंग यू नीड टू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ थिंकिंग अबाउट इट। जितना आप सोचेंगे वो रगें रिवाइव होगी। You know, people who lose memory, what are they done to, how they are treated? They are taken to those places and to those people, one after the other, and repeatedly. And then they suddenly remember, okay, I know this person and I know this place. So this is the way to revive memory. So you will have to fake it till you make it. Okay. So today I will give you a brief idea about our relationship with Shiv Baba. So we have primarily 9 relationships with Shiv Baba. And actually all relationships with Shiv Baba, because although we think we have relationships with human beings, those relationships are not working because they are not supposed to fulfill you, right? So now we have all relationships with Shiv Baba, and Shiv Baba is the one who is supposed to fulfill us in every which way possible. And that's why it is said we have all relationships with Shiv Baba. Now the 9 relationships are, you can write them down: बाप, टीचर, सतगुरु, माता, बंधु, सखा, साजन, सर्जन डॉक्टर, and bachcha. Okay. Now when I say bandhu and sakha, bandhu means brother, sakha means friend. Okay. So baap, teacher, satguru, mata, bandhu, sakha, sajan, surgeon or bachcha. When I say you have all your relationships with Shiv Baba, who are you? You the soul. Okay, not the body. So you must remember this always, because बाबा आत्मा का सब कुछ है, और जब आत्मा बाबा को अपना सब कुछ जानकर उससे जुड़ जाती है तो फिर उसका शरीर, उसके संबंध अपने आप मीठे हो जाते हैं। ठीक है, तो बाबा के साथ हमारे जो 9 संबंध हैं, टुडे वी विल अंडरस्टैंड अ लिटिल अबाउट देम so that you can explore them in your mind. First is the role of a father. Now you see, the father gives sustenance and legacy. पिता हमें पालना देता है और वर्षा देता है ना। जब हम पिता के साथ रहते तो हमें सस्टेनेंस मिलती है, और जब पिता हमें छोड़ कर जाता है तो हमें वो धन संपत्ति देकर जाता है, ताकि हम अपनी पूरी ज़िंदगी आराम से बिता सकें। ठीक है, तो आत्मा को जो पालना चाहिए, क्योंकि शरीर को तो रोटी कपड़ा मकान चाहिए, वो तो शरीर का पिता दे देता है, बट आत्मा को जो चाहिए वो शरीर का पिता नहीं दे पाता। क्योंकि आत्मा को चाहिए प्यार, आत्मा को चाहिए शक्ति, आत्मा को चाहिए ज्ञान, आत्मा को चाहिए पवित्रता। तो ये चीज़ें आत्मा को शरीर का पिता नहीं दे पाता। सुख, शरीर का पिता हमारे दुख में दुखी हो सकता है, पर हमें सुखी नहीं कर सकता। है ना। तो परमात्मा जो शिव बाबा हमारा पिता है, वो हमें पिता के रूप में पवित्रता, शांति, प्रेम, सुख, आनंद, शक्ति, इनकी पालना देते। और दूसरी बात, जब हम लायक बन जाते और शिव बाबा हमें छोड़कर जाएंगे तो हमारे हाथ में सतयुग की राजाई भी दे जाएंगे। क्योंकि जब हम ये सारे ज्ञान गुण शक्ति लेकर अपने आप को परिवर्तन करेंगे, तो मैंने आपको पहले भी बताया, संस्कार परिवर्तन से संसार परिवर्तन होगा। और जब शिव बाबा हमें छोड़ कर जाएंगे, अभी तो वो हमारे को पालना दे रहे हैं, और जब हम उनसे सब कुछ लेकर लायक बन जाएंगे तो जाते वक्त वो हमें स्वर्ग भी सौंप जाएंगे, ताकि हम उस स्वर्ग में आराम से रह सकें। तो जो संस्कार हम अभी बनाएंगे उनके आधार से हमें वो संसार भी मिल जाएगा। तो दिस इज व्हाट शिव बाबा एज अ फादर इज डूइंग फॉर अस। एंड व्हेन यू कीप दिस इन योर अवेयरनेस, then you can have love for the father that he is. Yes. Then second is teacher. We got educated through several teachers, but all that knowledge that we acquired was not enough to put an end to the questions that were in our mind. And still the questions about myself or about how the world is running, why somebody who is apparently doing good is sorrowful, how somebody who is apparently doing well is prospering. All these questions were there in our mind, and precisely, this question of how to get rid of desire and fear, because even if we did everything, we came to know everything, and on the basis of what we studied and the education we received, we got a job, we got an income, but still fear and desire only multiplied. It never came down. So the knowledge that actually makes you rid of desire and fear, because you understand you are full and You operate from a place of contentment, not desire. Now, here you have to understand one thing which might cause confusion in your mind. Contentment is not the same thing as complacency. Okay, complacency means you don't intend to do anything anymore. Yes? Contentment means you still do everything. You do it more than you did it yesterday, but you are not operating from an energy of desire, but you are operating from an energy of contentment. Yes? What that means is, खुशी के लिए नहीं कर रहे हैं, खुश होके कर रहे हैं. That is the difference between contentment and complacency. Spirituality doesn't make you complacent, because yes, this is a very important piece of thing which you should know, and that is, we have always operated in this world from a belief system that I work because I want the fruit of that work. Yes, I work for what I get out of that work. But actually, everybody needs to work because they are capable of working. Right? And when you understand that life is about expressing what you have, the whole purpose is you have to express what you have, otherwise you will have less and less of it tomorrow. Okay, because if you don't use it, you will lose it. So if I have a capacity of the brain, if I have a capacity of the muscle, if I have a capacity of the heart, if I have gray matter, if I have the capacity to speak sweet words, if I have the capacity to form good relationships, then I must, because I have the capacity. Right? So you don't work because you want to get something, you work because you have been endowed well. And it is your duty to express that endowment in action. For example, if you see my life, I have enough to eat and clothe myself. I only need 2 sarees, so I don't need a third. I eat very simple meals, so I don't have to do anything much for my survival. But the thing is, when I am getting these gifts from God and I am capable of sharing them, then it is my duty to see to it that my capabilities don't go to waste. So every person is responsible to make sure that their endowments are expressed in action. And this is why one should work. And when you understand this thing that अगर कुदरत ने आपको इतना विशेष बनाया है, अगर आप इतने विशेष हैं और आपके अंदर इतने गुण हैं, इतनी कैपेसिटीज़ हैं, स्किल्स हैं, तो आपको उसको अपने कल्याण और विश्व के कल्याण के लिए यूज़ करना ही चाहिए. And not doing that is a paap. So that's why you work, not for getting something, because you will sow as you will reap as you sow. This is a rule. So you don't have to worry about the reaping, because that is latent in the sowing. If you do, you will get. You don't have to do for getting. Okay. So this is how we move from a place of operating from desire to a place of operating from contentment. So knowledge that Shiv Baba gives us enables us to overcome these two, mostly I think more than any other emotion, these are the two big ones, desire and fear. And then when you come to know you are an indestructible soul, you never fear or worry, because you will always exist. You might exist in this body, you might exist in another body, you might exist in anywhere, anytime, but the thing is you will always exist and you will always be you. So when you are you, you can fend for yourself wherever you are, because you are special and you are endowed. So this is the power of Baba's knowledge. And we say God is the supreme teacher because he teaches you things that and also about this whole the secret of creation and creator, and the secret about you and everything. And when you learn all of this, then there is nothing left to learn. Everything else is just a simulation or some combination of whatever Baba teaches you. So this is how Baba is the father and the teacher. We will discuss the other relationships tomorrow. And I also wanted to share something with you. People are requesting that we continue these sessions after 29th. Also, probably 29th was the date which we had announced. So there are requests that I am receiving. So if you are interested to continue it after 29th, please send me a message on the number that you have, and then I will decide on how to keep this going. Okay. Om Shanti. Let's meditate for some time and then we will. Become aware of yourself. I am a sweet star, the sweetest child of Shiv Baba. I am that sweet divine star sitting in the center of the forehead. And Shiv Baba's energy of love and protection coming from the world above in the form of shining white rays is covering me from all sides. I am sitting in this cocoon of love created by Shiv Baba's waves of love coming from the world above. See yourself encased in a cover of protective white light. And I, the happy soul, shining blissfully and fearlessly in this protection. My Supreme Father, my Supreme Teacher, the one I have all relationships with, has come and taken me into his arms. And in this sweet embrace, I sit like a child and just enjoy this moment of complete protection and nurturing. Sit in this beautiful feeling of divine communion for some time. Om Shanti.